Do you want to go with me?
Listen, as well as you doing writing ballads, which is probably what you're known better for, you did do the New Jack sound. I mean,
Yes.
now you always like to ask about the Teddy Riley. Here's your chance here, because my guy was doing New Jack.
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
that because of Teddy Riley, or was that because of label peer pressure saying we need you to
Well,
do this sound, or is it something you was into, you wanted to do?
oh no. Everybody loved Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley owned the world, you know? And so his records were incredible. So you want to get that flavor, but I wanted to put my twist on it as well.
Good, good.
So yeah, no, we're influenced by Teddy Riley. Everybody was. Them, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, LA and Babyface, that was the trifecta. Those guys were killing.
Well, Teddy's younger than all of them, but I just wonder when you're hearing something like a Groove Me, a Prerogative, or I Wanna, um, does it seem like how's this music just gone? It feels like R&B is made younger all of a sudden, and people on the street can relate to it. But as a producer yourself, how are you interpolating what he was doing? Because he wasn't in a big studio. Sometimes he was doing it in his bedroom.
Right.
As a producer and as a composer and arranger, could you hear what he was doing and thinking,
Yeah, but a lot of times, during those times, I wasn't using loops. I was like, man, how's he getting them drums to do that? So then I'm learning, oh, he's using loops and different things and different rhythms. So that was a new trick I had to learn because I was just programming everything. And I'm like, how's he getting it to feel like that? And I understand it's loops and different things that are up underneath the thing. But I was the kind of guy, well, he's already doing it and everybody's up. Why? I don't want to chase that. Let me find my own lane. And I've always been one of the guys that let me find something that fits for me. And that's my lane. And even though I admired Teddy, big fan of his, but I didn't want to chase that because they were already doing that. So let me find my lane. That's the way I looked at
because a lot of people were trying to imitate that. Even
it.
the
Right.
Good Girls, their first album, there was a lot of they felt like, okay, the new Jack. Um, but you notice with Jam, Lewis, and LA and Babyface, they had their distinct sound, and it set them apart. So I would always know LA and Babyface because LA the drummer, so you hear his drums on a track, Babyface with the lyrics, but also his background harmony. So you know when Face is singing, or maybe sometimes it'll bring a Karen White in, and the way it goes. So and you can hear Daryl as well. So you could hear the three of them in a record. But with Jimmy and Terry, you could also hear what they would do. But then as I say with Teddy, you could hear his stuff. But those who are trying to copy, you could hear the duplicate that's not up to it, and it doesn't seem to fit.
And it's interesting that you said that when you think of those three entities, Teddy, LA and Face,
Jam and
Jim
Lewis.
Jam, they all had their own sound. When the LA and Babyface record came on, you knew what it was. When the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis record, and they didn't try to sound like each other.
Yeah.
And Teddy stood out on his own. That's what made those three special because each one had their own lane. And they said, well, they're already doing that. We don't need to do that. Let's do our thing. And so I love them. For me, and here's somebody, a producer that doesn't get enough credit to me, and he's one of my heroes, and that's Leon Silvers.
Wow.
Like the beat goes on, all those
The Whispers, the whole solo
Whispers,
record.
solo. He doesn't
Incredible.
get enough credit.
No.
His records were incredible. That those what is it? Name of that group? His name
The Whispers or the
Whispers,
Silvers.
Shalimar.
Yeah.
What's the name? He had that record. Here I am. About what was it? Dynasty. His group
Pianist.
Dynasty. Man, those records were incredible. And yeah, Leon Silvers, he doesn't get enough credit. He's one of my top five.
Okay. Well, that's for the end of the show. Your
Yeah,
top
okay,
five.
sorry. Yeah, but I just wanted to give him his props because
Yeah.
he's so not named, and he's
Yeah.
such a big inspiration to me, Leon Silvers.
Yeah. I mean, Teddy brought him to work on the first Blackstreet album.
Before
You
I
know.
let go.
Yeah, before I let you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he brought him to work on some of the first Blackstreet album.
yeah.
The and that would be somebody that would be hopefully by the summer I can try and get on to
Oh,
a younger generation.
I'll be there watching that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but how do you then find, because Stevie has a lot more of the track that you've done, but how are you finding a way to make sure that you are finding your sound and you can learn from the others, but you are being distinctive? What are you trying to do differently?
What feels good to me. We all borrow from each other. And then I may learn something how LA and Babyface do something. Then I said, okay, I did that. Now let me twist it on my head. What would I do with this? How would I approach this?
Oh, no more Howard Maurice.
Nah,
You
nah.
forget.
How would I approach this?
Wow.
How would I approach this song? What makes me feel good? So then I start finding my own DNA to put in those songs. And I understood that I loved harmonies and background arrangements. So that was one of the things I leaned into.
Mm,
That, using background vocals as like another instrument. You
yeah.
know, so that was the thing that I loved doing, from my choir days and stuff like that.
So before we move on, Gerald Busby then. So what was he like? Because we talked about Leon Low, but Gerald Busby.
I learned he taught me so much. Here's a serious story. Um, how I wound up, I was with this partner, and but the word got around town. They said, well, this guy, yeah, these two guys from back east, and but there's this one guy that really does. Although the other guy, he was chasing women, he was doing the Hollywood, you know. And I never forget, we were at Cherokee Studios, and Gerald Busby put me in the studio with Johnny Gill. Gerald Busby comes by the studio, and I'm there by myself. The other guy's off chasing women, doing what he does. And so I'm writing the song, programming it. Then Johnny comes in, and I'm doing vocals and everything else. But I'm trying to text this other guy or send a page, hey man, Gerald said you need to get back here so he doesn't come back. So after we finish everything, Gerald says to me, and he stays there all day. He looks at me, he goes, be at my office tomorrow at 9 o'clock and come by yourself.
Wow.
I went to that office the next day. He said, the word got around town that you were the guy. So I want to invest. And that's when he introduced me to Louisville and other people and doing other things, working with other people. And he said, I want you to come here and just move on from that guy and do your own thing. And that's how that happened. This was like 1991, something like that.
But before then, what kept you from actually separating since you were doing all that by yourself? Was it
Loyalty,
loyalty?
loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. I'm a real loyal person, and sometimes to a fault, and to my own fault. And I've gotten older and wiser now. but but I learned now. I learned from that lesson. That was a valuable lesson for me to learn. And after that, I never had anybody take advantage of me.
And did he not reach out to you? Like I'm thinking of the Temptations and when they kick out when well, I can't remember his name now. Yeah, I was thinking of the Five Heartbeats and stuff when
Oh
he
yeah, yeah,
goes
yeah.
out, then he comes back. But did he ever come back to say, "Hey, okay, Keith, I'm sorry, let's do it again"? He didn't bother.
He had a bad reputation around town, and
Okay.
he's passed on. So I'm not on
Okay.
to.
No, yeah,
Yeah, so that's why I'm not mentioning his name or anything like that.
yeah,
But he had a bad reputation around town, and so I just needed to get away. That was bad. I just needed to separate myself from it, and get away from it.
yeah. So Gerald, but you said he wanted to spend the entire day watched from himself before.
Because word got around town, the streets are watching. And so, you know, he was out chasing women, doing this thing. I was always in the room doing the work. And he was out hanging out with the chicks, doing all, you know, he was living the Hollywood life. And I didn't care about that. I was just in the studio working. And the
you
word
still split this, okay, but they know that they were paying both of you to
right,
do stuff.
right.
And
But I wouldn't rat him out. You know, I just kept doing my work. And then Gerald Busby got to work. And that's when Gerald Busby came to see for himself. And he saw for himself. And he said, you come tomorrow, don't bring him with you.
Wow.
And if you do bring him with you, then lose my number.
Wow.
Oh, I can't
In
buy
the midst of
myself.
this story, though, hold on a minute. In the midst of this story, you've just done a session with
Johnny Gill.
Mr. Johnny Gill.
Was that the first album? Is the
What,
prerogative
can
album?
you remember what track it was? Or
No, the song, that the record never came out.
I'm gonna say, I bet this record didn't come out, and you just,
No,
you know,
no, it never came out.
and I bet you've got it hidden somewhere. I bet you've got it hidden somewhere.
Yeah, I got it somewhere. I got it somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be chasing you on that.
All right, okay.
I'll be chasing you for the next 10 years for that record then.
Yeah.
But
But you'd be surprised the hundreds and hundreds of records that we make that never see the light of day.
Oh, it's just crazy, isn't it? The 90s, this 90s ain't just a story about what came out, it's also a story about what didn't come out.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The hundreds and
I know
thousands.
you guys have got all this hidden stuff, but again, that's for another conversation.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They understand what those boys do in the
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.